Any startup founder that tells you that being acquired isn't on their list of goals, they're probably not telling you the truth. If you are able to have a successful acquisition at your startup and sell it for a multiple of what your revenue is, that's usually a huge win for the founder, for the investors, and everybody else that's involved in owning the company. So yeah, it is a big goal and it is a dream for all startup founders.
I got way too much money coming out of woodwork. Remember back then, dog, I told them that it would work. They ain't take it serious, I showed them that I could first. Now I got a crib off the strings, so that's good. I got way too much money coming out of woodwork. Remember back then, dog, I told them that it would work. They ain't take it serious, I showed them.
Getting acquired can mean a couple of different things. It can mean that somebody has bought your business outright, you no longer own it, you no longer work at it, another company is taking that over. It can also mean that the company may be acquiring the business and taking it over, putting it under their umbrella, but part of that acquisition is that you still run that section of the company or that you stay on as a consultant or a manager. So there's a couple different ways that can be structured.
You've created so much value, you've provided the best solution, you're just awesome, who knows? Yeah, getting acquired means someone wants to acquire what you've built so they can use it. And usually, hopefully, it means they're gonna pay you for it, like a lot.
Getting acquired means that all of an organization or company's assets are bought and or traded or given to another entity.
Being acquired means someone wants what you have, so they buy it and pay you a lot of money for it. I guess it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but that's what being acquired is.
Getting acquired is when one company or a group of investors purchases the controlling interest in another company. Getting acquired can mean a lot of different things. Sometimes people acquire the company just to keep it the company, and then oftentimes an acquisition will be to take multiple companies and smash them together into one much bigger company.
Getting acquired, that'd be phenomenal. Basically, what does it mean? It means somebody is taking you over. Somebody is paying to acquire you as a business. Sometimes the acquisition is in cash. Sometimes it's in stock. Sometimes a company might come and scoop you up. Honestly, that's, for most entrepreneurs, that'd be something they aspire to. Acquisitions are amazing, and if you can set your business up to be acquired, then you're doing business the right way.
Well, Watson's not even 40, and he's on top of another big exit. It's pretty unbelievable, man. It's pretty unbelievable.
It's April 13th. The original goal for closing the deal was March 31st. So we're a little far behind. But as of today, as of this morning, we finally have the final drafts of all the legal paperwork. Hallelujah. So, goal is to close in a couple days. April 15th is the day, so hopefully we can get this deal done. It's been 5.5 months in the making, so everybody's really excited to finally get this over with. The great thing about our product and Netrio's product is they're very complementary to each other. Netrio does infrastructure monitoring, so they can monitor what they would say anything with a digital heartbeat. So right now they're monitoring, for example, refrigerators that are holding COVID-19 vaccine, right? If the temperatures, got too high and the refrigerator messed up, it'd be a problem. Basically monitor all sorts of infrastructure related things, where Stackify is more focused on software developers and applications and really how the applications work. So it's very different. They basically monitor from outside the application in, and then we kind of monitor from the inside of the application out. So we're very complementary to each other, and our customers need both and they want both. So going forward, it's going to be great selling both services, both products to the mutual customers.
I've never bought or sold an entire business. I have invested in 7 different businesses and started 3 different ones. So I know that's not the same as a full acquisition, but definitely have been involved in buying and selling equity in small businesses.
Have I ever bought or sold a business? No.
Have I ever bought or sold a business? The answer is yes. I have bought a business twice. I bought out my partner, so I bought my own business. And the second one would be a little e-commerce brand called Little Babblers. And we sell like those baby towels with hoods with like animal ears and stuff. It's really cute. We're redoing the packaging. We're fixing it all up. If you're selling an e-commerce brand, hit me up. I'm interested.
I have not bought or sold a business yet. I've started 2 of them. And the one my wife and I started, our wedding and event space, we're considering, could we sell this? Which is kind of cool and exciting, but no. To date, I have not bought or sold a business yet.
We have never bought and sold a business, although one day maybe we will.
Have I ever bought a business? Well, actually, yeah. The very first insurance office that we ever had, we bought it off a guy that was on his way out. He didn't want to do insurance anymore, so we bought the office from him. I've sold a business too. I used to own a game truck. It was this 32-foot trailer, had TVs inside, Xbox, PlayStation, Wii. Show up to kids' birthday parties and play video games with young kids for a couple hours. It was really cool. It was really fun, but it did consume my weekends entirely. And as I eventually had kids myself, the weekends became much more valuable. So I ended up having to sell that business.
First time around, it was a much bigger acquisition. I mean, our company had 200 or 300 employees. It was much larger scale. I also had a different role then. I wasn't the CEO. I wasn't as involved in the acquisition. I was a little more secondary to the process, where this time I'm more involved in the process. I'm at the heart of it. The first time around, there was a lot of anticipation of, collecting the big check and what would we do with it and how it would change our lives and things like that. Second time around, don't really have any of those same feelings. It's not really going to change much financially for me. It'll let me sleep a little better at night because I have invested a lot of money in Stackify, and I'll be able to get a lot of that money back. So that's a good thing, recouping my investment into it. But I mean, fundamentally, I'm not going to run out and like buy a new house or a Ferrari next week or do anything crazy like that. So, yellow or red? I'm not sure. I had a red one before. Maybe I should go with yellow.
Companies acquire other companies for a number of different reasons. Usually bigger companies are acquiring smaller companies because they have some kind of product or service that runs really well in a parallel way next to the company that has made the acquisition. For example, the company that's acquiring another company may want to offer a specific type of product or service, and they have a number of existing clients, users, whomever, that make it really, really easy to offer this new product or service.
Companies acquire other companies because they see something that is valuable to them. It could be something that runs parallel with their current business model, something that the industry doesn't have yet, and they want to put it in their toolbox. But yeah, companies acquire other companies because they either don't want to develop it and they see that someone else has and they're good at it, so they can just buy it from them, or it's they don't want to go through the cost and the time and effort to do something that someone's already built. So they acquire it, put it under their umbrella, and now they have acquired that use of that solution.
Why do companies acquire other companies? Typically because there's some competitive advantage, whether that means more profit, whether that means a new client base. There is some compelling reason that a company wants to buy another company, and they have to weigh the risks and the benefits and the cost to what that benefit might be.
What's happening right now in the Amazon space is a lot of VCs, a lot of private equity companies, a lot of bigger agencies are acquiring smaller agencies like Marknology. We actually had 8 or 9 different companies reach out in the last 12 months about acquiring Marknology. Everything has a price, sure. But the reason that a company would acquire another is to quickly scale. So maybe they need an Amazon team in their marketing agency and they don't have one. Maybe it's a big food broker that wants to have marketing expertise in-house. Maybe it's a company that needs, high-level expertise of what another company does, and instead of building that department out internally, they're just going to acquire another one and add that to their business.
Why am I doing this? Why am I selling the company? Well, for Stackify, it's been 9 years, and so one of the big reasons is just getting liquidity to the existing shareholders, including myself. We're growing, the company's doing just fine, but we're excited to have a partner that could bring some capital to really grow the business. We don't have the funds to really grow it at a much faster pace. So that could be, potentially like a VC or private equity or an acquisition like this, either way. So very excited to merge with another company and have a, much bigger, much stronger force behind us, which is really exciting. And the company we're merging with has a really great product that is complementary to ours. So our customers want their product and their customers want our product. So it's a win-win for everybody. And we'll just continue the journey and keep growing and keep it going. It's going to be a great deal for all of our employees for sure.
Is my goal to be acquired? I never really thought of it that way. I probably should. But in my space, not the social media platform I'm talking about, in podcasting, acquisition would be amazing, actually, to be bought out. Like Joe Rogan got bought out by Spotify. Spotify went and said, hey, your podcast has millions of viewers. It has millions of downloads. You have enough attention that you warrant a exclusive with whatever Spotify ended up doing for them. I think it was something like $100 million. His podcast was acquired by Spotify so that more people who are in the podcast space might want to go over and be part of Spotify. So maybe I should be building my podcast the same way. Maybe I should be focusing my attention on acquiring that kind of audience so that maybe a company might acquire it here in the future. I never built my podcast that way. I built it more as a networking tool, as an ability to connect with people, build my email list, and then sell products from there. So different model, but might be something to look at.
I think in the back of every entrepreneur's mind or any startup's mind is, man, could we get acquired, right? That's kind of the ultimate end goal. But don't get ahead of yourself. When I started Mixtape, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was simply trying to do steps 1, 2, and 3, with acquisition or exiting being like step 100. So if the opportunity presented itself, I'd definitely consider it. But it's got to be worth the time and the money and the emotional investment that you've made in whatever you're doing. Acquisition, is it on the table? Sure, man. You'd be dumb to say no to something. You just have to look at what the details are, and if it makes sense for you, go for it.
Is one of your goals at your business to be acquired? No. So as a nonprofit, that's not really how it works. And so I do think that there is a huge benefit, and something that we've been working on at InnovateHer KC is coming up with that succession plan. Like, what does my exit as the founder and CEO look like? But no, our goal is not ultimately to be acquired. Our goal is to someday manage ourselves out of a job. For there to be so much equity and so much, so many women in leadership that we're no longer necessary.
One of my goals is to have my business acquired. Maybe not Marknology, maybe another business I grow and build. But I want to go through the process. I want to know every aspect of business. There's a part about it that my curiosity is kind of insatiable. And I want to build something that someone else thinks is of value and pays me for it outside of just a product. I want to do it at the business level. So yeah, it is a goal of mine.
Any startup founder has the goal of being acquired. So I guess, sure, I think it'd be great if my company was acquired. That's not why I get up every day and work at Full Scale. At Full Scale, acquisition would be slightly different than a company that does tech. And when I say different, Full Scale is a tech services company, and service companies are valued at a different rate than something like software, where software is traditionally a much higher exit value and service-related companies aren't. So service companies are often profitable long before a software company. So you learn to live on the cash flow and the short-term profits, and service companies can provide an amazing living and income for its owners and investors for quite a while. All right, and we're back, or at least I'm back, and I'm back at it. Kind of a big day. I've been working on potentially bringing in a big investor for Full Scale. At this point, Watson and I still own Full Scale 50-50, but we're talking about doing something that changed that and provided us with a large amount of capital. The business is at a point where that is something we should be looking at, and I'm excited. So I've been working on this for a long time. I've been really quiet about it, and today is a day where I should learn something more. Well, the investor call went okay. Got offered a significant amount of money to buy part of Full Scale at a valuation that I think sucks. That said, I think it's an opening offer, but definitely was not in the ballpark of what I wanted. So we will let the negotiation begin. That said, I definitely had a little bit of Erlich Bachman in me for this one. Sometimes you just got to whip it out and put it on the fucking table. That didn't go well. Why? I did get $1 million investment offer, but with that, on the term sheet, there was also a line that said the investor wanted a $100,000 annual management fee. It was a lesson learned. I spent a lot of time arriving at that point, which sucks for both myself and the company.
So my role going forward is to be the chief technology officer of the combined company. So the combined company will have over 100 employees, and they want me to be the leader of software development for both companies. So I'm really excited for that opportunity, ready to get this deal over and start my new job. So what happens after the deal closes? Oh my God, you have no idea. I think the first day I got to go change the credit card number on about 100 things. Real glamorous, huh? There's all sorts of stuff like that you have to do that you would never think about. We have a spreadsheet that tracks like 174 different activities, I think, in there. Some of them have to be done before close. Some are done like day one. Some are done the first 30 days. Some are 90 days or the first year. So we have scheduled actually on the day of closing and it just happened to be scheduled this way, actually like an advisory board meeting for their largest customers. So while frantically trying to close this deal, the day of closing, I think I've got to stop and go talk to their biggest customers and tell them about the acquisition on the day of closing. So that might be pretty hectic. You know, I might have to break out the fireball. I think that's gonna be the day.
First, now I got a crib off the streams, what is good? I got racks, I got the bills, I need my mama up in the hills. All of these tools, they in the fields. I don't need drink, I don't need pills, I just need money, that's what I'm saying. All of this talking, swear it gets draining. All of this time, I've been refraining. Now I make hits when I cover the bases. Now I got time to go get it, I told them I do it. I swear that I'm running the most. I don't know what they've been talking, I told them I'm here and I'm working so hard, but they don't. I'm in the base and I'm making a way, and I told them that this is the life that I chose. They trying to test me, I told them you really don't want it. I told them that I gotta go.